Yep, well, the conference grind is officially here, and I think that our league did a tremendous job in the non-conference from top to bottom. We've positioned ourselves as a league to get as many as, looks like upwards of 8, 9, or even 10 bids up for the tournament with some of the resumes. The league's as deep as any in the country, and I think you're going to see every night very, very highly contested games, whether it's home or away, and there's very, very little separation between any team, and it's going to be very, very interesting to see the ups and the downs, who can handle success and obviously who can handle the adversity, because there's going to be a lot of rough water, so to speak. For us, we start right away here Thursday with Illinois, and Illinois is such a tough team to play against because of their style. It's so unique. It's unlike anything you've ever seen, and you can watch as many teams as you want play against them. They just really force your hand to, make plays, handle the ball. They thrive on transition and turnovers, making threes. They have good guard play, and it's going to be a very difficult game for us on Thursday night. And clearly after that, we start to hit the road a few times here in January. So, but we're taking it one day at a time, and our focus is today, and then obviously Illinois, and then we'll take it after from there.
Just order of business. How's Rob and Zach? Are they good to go tomorrow?
Zach's done post-Christmas has slowly but surely worked his way back into practice, which is good to see, and anticipate him hopefully without a setback today, knock on wood, that he could be available. Rob is, 2 weeks from his injury in the game, and he's progressed and he's getting better, but he is yet to practice, and I don't anticipate Rob being available, especially most likely this week, and then we'll see from beyond as he continues to sort of go through it. He is doing more activity and whatnot, but he hasn't been cleared to do anything basketball-wise in terms of, engaging in practice. So we'll plan to move forward without him here for the foreseeable future, and we got to have next man up like we've been all year. It's been a difficult team, to sort of be around every day, because you're disappointed that you don't have the ability to really have all your troops together at the same time, and got to put that by you obviously, and go with what you have, which is what we've done all year.
If I could follow up real quick, Race, is he any closer? Maybe Jerome too, or those guys maybe?
Those guys are still in the same situation that they've been, just in terms of time. No real determination on any time of return for either guy. We're hopeful that he'll continue to progress so we can continue to get him better. But as of right now, we don't plan on having those guys in the near future here. Hopefully Race can continue to improve. He has improved a lot, but it's been a very, very difficult injury.
We're just going to pass the mic today again.
As much as it can be, I guess, the shorthanded nature, just what you guys have had to deal with, has that become standard operating procedure for these guys, and understanding just how to make the most of their time without maybe a full complement of players?
Yeah, without question. I mean, I think as a player, you tend to not worry about all those things. As a coach, you worry about everything. But as a player, I think you see opportunity and you feel good that you're going to have a chance to contribute and be a part of this thing. And I think that's pretty much what our guys have done. That's always how we have approached it, next man up, so to speak, and continue to work to get better and create an opportunity to change the path of your own individual, season. So that's what these guys have done, and there's been a lot of different guys step up at different times, and I think that, hopefully at some point in time, that can collectively be a good thing down the stretch.
You kind of used the phrase handling success, just talking about the whole conference and who can do it kind of through the conference season. I know maybe sometimes we can be guilty of making too much out of one or two things, but are there lessons maybe from that November, December stretch that you want these guys to draw from in terms of being able to handle success, particularly just building that win streak after Duke and the way that they won some of those close games?
Oh, without question. We talked about it yesterday. As you head into January here early, everything that we've done to get here so far has been very, very hard-earned, whether that's been, tough, gritty wins, ugly play that's led to, stellar, so to speak, defensive stops. We've had guys also step up and make timely baskets, and different people have stepped up at the end of the games. There's a lot of that good blue-collar, so to speak, togetherness that has sort of been a part of what we've done. Now, it can't ever go away, obviously, as you hit Big Ten play. But we have to remember that how we've gotten here. And if anything slips through the cracks or we have any slippage on either side of the ball, we're not improving, we're not continuing to play hard. Now, those 50-50 games, they become a little bit harder to win, especially when you mix in the road. So for us, we can't ever lose the fact that how we've gotten here, and we also can't lose the fact that there's still a lot of room to get better. The team early in January can be a lot different in February, and that's sort of our hope. And we're going to play against the best of the best here, and we're going to be tested. So we're going to know exactly what we need to be doing on a daily basis to be able to put ourselves in a situation to, continue to have success.
In terms of Rob's role, other than Devontae playing more minutes, do you overtly work on, maybe Al or even maybe Romeo or other guys handling the ball up top a little bit more? Yeah,
without question. Devontae's obviously a guy that's used to it. Al will be in there. Romeo's going to get more opportunities now to handle the ball. And Demezi and Zach also, hopefully those two guys are going to see more action, just how the backcourt shapes up without Rob. Rob plays an important role on our team without question, but these other guys, have also worked hard, and some have good experience here coming through the early part of the year. Being able to be a part of what we're doing. So we'll move forward. The biggest thing is, these guys, defensively are really going to be taxed, as you start to play against the best of the best. You got to be smart. And I think that the thing that's concerning, I think, is the foul trouble. You got to be able to play hard without fouling. And Rob's a big part of our defense, without, obviously he's played on offense as well, but he's a big, big part of our defensive depth on the perimeter. And not having him and Zach here in the last couple games and maybe game and a half, that puts a lot of pressure on those other guys, especially coming in and playing smart. So, but we'll eventually, knock on wood, eventually Rob will rejoin us. It's just a matter of when, and hopefully Zach can continue to stay strong.
With Devontae getting the gold jersey, number one, what stood out about his performance in practice in terms of the way he earned it? And number two, just how pleased are you to see that carrying over from kind of the confidence he built at the end of non-conference play?
He's done a nice job in practice leading into our last three wins. I mean, he's been a big, big part of our practices in terms of him re-engaging and being a primary player in a lot of reps. And Devontae's done a good job. He's kind of practicing how he's playing. He's trying to make plays for others. Obviously, he's a gifted guy that can score the ball in bunches at times, but he's got to pick and choose what's a good shot and a bad shot and what's a good decision and a bad decision. And defensively, he's hanging in there. He knows our system, and he rebounds the ball for a guard. So he does a lot of good things. But what he's doing in practice, I think, is translating to the game. And Thursday's going to be a big one for him, just in terms of how much he's going to have to handle the ball. It's a very difficult game for guards.
If you were to make a case for Juwan Morgan, maybe mid-season Player of the Year candidate in the Big Ten, what would be the key things you would point to that stand out to you that he's done the best?
I would just say from top to bottom, there isn't a statistical category that he doesn't contribute in. And I would go away from offense and I would start with defense in terms of how important he is in our system and what we do, defending the other players, either bigs or away from the basket, defensive rebounding, blocking shots, being sort of a captain on defense, and then moving into the offense. He's been a guy that's been unselfish. He's been able to score. He's been able to shoot. He's been able to pass. He's been able to just do everything. He's pretty much been a do-everything guy for us on both ends of the floor. And without question, when the other team watches film, I would think that they look at him and say, that guy right there, he's a bear to deal with.
And you also mentioned, I think, at the end of the stretch there, you don't want to get Romeo more involved in some things going downhill, I think was what you mentioned. How do you envision that playing out? Kind of what do you want to do with Romeo here moving forward?
Well, I just think, teams, off the ball are really trying to take him out of the game at times. And I think, he's having his opportunities in transition. And with just the regular flow, we've got to do a better job of advancing the ball. And our team in general has to continue to become a better passing team, sharing it. But without question, I think that he has to be able to be a primary ball handler, in big stretches of games or tough stretches of games where he's the guy sort of working in the middle of the floor and the clock with Juwan, or just at the end of the day, he's starting actions for us as well. And with Robert being out, we need more ball handling anyway, but just in finding different ways and being creative to get all of our players in the best positions, definitely putting him in more situations and pick and rolls and doing some things where he has the ability to read the defense.
How important is it to keep your turnovers under control against a team like Illinois that's as good as any in the country at forcing them?
It's the whole key to the game. And it's not just us, it's everybody who plays them has to deal with it. There'll be 5 to 10 possessions in a game where you look out there and you say, this doesn't even look like a basketball game. It's just, it's a firestorm, so to speak. And then there's those plays when you got to be able to capitalize with numbers, where you don't make the silly mistake of over dribbling and charging, or just getting too sped up with numbers and not making the proper pass. But Illinois thrives on defense, their steals, they thrive on their transition game. And it's the whole key, so to speak, is being able to function, offensively, with being able to find a way to get some quality shots and being able to get some numbers. It's not an easy thing to do, especially if you haven't played them, ever. You got young guys in the game. It's the first time they've seen it. So, but I've watched every one of their games from Maui all the way through to their Big Ten games to Missouri. I mean, every game's the same. It's just a rock fight. And you have to understand when you play the game, that's what it's going to feel like.
I know you're not looking too far ahead, but I think this is the only time we're going to talk to you before Michigan as well. Just what do you see of them? Obviously, they're, I think, kind of perceived as the front runner of the conference right now.
Oh, I'll be honest with you. I haven't really studied them a lot. Obviously, I follow our league like probably every coach does, and they've had a fantastic non-conference. They're elite defensively, and offensively they're as skilled and play with great spacing like they always do. But without question, they have a way about them right now, a confidence, a swagger that they can beat you with both sides of the ball. I think that's what really I admired about their team last year as they went on that great run, is just how they kind of just morphed into this tough-minded, really sticky defense that also has a great spacing and great players on offense. And I think if you just look through their run a year ago and you kind of look where they're at right now, I mean, they could be anywhere from 30 out of 31 to, I don't even know how many games that group, but it's good. And I've always said, as I've watched him, Xavier Simpson is the MVP of that team. He's unbelievable on defense, and he's unbelievably efficient for them on offense in terms of how he attacks the basket and gets guys involved. So, clearly they've earned every bit of their accolades here from the start of the season to where they're at, and they're positioned, clearly to have another great season.